Hello! Let me check that the stream is working, but should be fine. Yep, receiving the content and should be starting really soon. Okay, we are live. All good. So, hey everyone. Hey, I shouldn't say that right now because it's not hey time just yet. I'll be working on the same project as yesterday for those who joined the stream. Starting with a sip of coffee, and we're going to kick new tasks on that little demo. So I've done some work since the stream on the boss, notably. It's a little exaggerated right now. You can kill it in 2 hits, but I fixed the boss. I added the interface on the player as well, and now you can go take hit. You have the life bar working on the player, the monsters are working, hitting is working again, the combos, everything. There are some bugs still, but yeah. Good morning. Yeah, Nathan, that's my name. So I've made a few tweaks to make the game slightly more visual, so now you can see the GUI and the player inside the main scene. The first thing I'm going to finish adding is the Lifebars builder, or building the, like adding Lifebars on the monsters. But first I will commit what I just did, so git status. Let's see. What do I need to add? Okay, git add GUI slash life slash player, and we're going to add hookable life bar, not just yet. We want the interface as well. And we want to add the player, so git add actors, I guess. Yeah, kinda. Also add the level. What else did we change? Git add, I think, the demo scene and the game. And all these contributed to adding the missing player GUI. So there we go. We have this. I have got to amend the commit actually, just to say that this fixes this issue. And we're good to go. So the hookable life bar are in already, and these are small bars that are going to hook onto the monsters but still stay separate in the world. They are going to land on the interface layer. These small things here. So the problem is right now they are not hooking properly. That's why. Yeah, but no, I don't. I want to remove that, and actually don't want to make the check here because I'm okay, I got it. The node is stats now. Okay, that was it. When you merge many demos and small projects together, sometimes it can be a bit of a mess. Normally you do this as you go, so you don't end up with like refactoring and putting lots of things together at once like I'm doing with this course, but this is I see what I did there. So my Lifebar builder, if the node doesn't have interface anchor, we return, and then we just initialize the Lifebar with an actor. If it does, and what do we get? Hold on, I'm going to flee the boss. Yes! Ah, they are working, but they are not exactly. I've actually had this bug before. The life bars are on the interface layer, and so I want to place them on the screen, but the coordinates they receive from the monsters that are hooking onto are global on the map. Actually, can this work then? Can it work this way? I could add the bar directly to the monster object. I think that would be smarter. So the life bar, I'm going to add it to the actor instead of adding it as a child of this node. So the way it works right now, it uses a remote transform node that's available on the monsters. This remote transform is a remote transform. It just forwards like the transform of that monster and of that point, obviously, to my life bar wherever it is in the tree. So here inside the life bar builders, build a node, you're going to have hookable life bars like so. And if the monster is somewhere on the screen, the life bar should hook onto it and kind of follow it. But at the moment, it's not working as I expected. The hookable life bar is it top level? Doesn't matter though, whether it's top level or not. Can I get the top left of the screen? No, these are just constants. Okay, so I have to change how the system works, I think. I'm going to add the life bar directly to the monster and store a reference here. Okay. Bars. Well, no, the bar is going to be cleaned up with the monster, so I don't need to keep a reference of it. Okay, so actor.add the life bar as a child. The problem with that is the rendering order, because then the life bar is not on the interface. It's going to be in the world with the monster, and so it may go behind walls, etc. So that's the problem this creates, but we can do this temporarily. Let's see, hookable life bar, what do we have? Initialize, so it's going to hook onto the hook node, so the interface anchor. The hook is going to get the path to this life bar node so that it can forward the information. We connect to the health and max health of the monster. I'm sorry for my voice, it was actually okay until now, and just when I start the stream it's starting to go down. Let me see. I've got to think and I've got to blow my nose. Hey, how's everyone doing, by the way? We have a few persons here, I guess. Let me check. Yeah, 15 of you. Crazy. Thanks for joining. So how can I do that? Because I'm doing good. And you? And there's a cat on the neighbor's rooftop, and I got in touch with the staff from the share house and tried to get it down. I had put a small ladder outside, but it's terrified it won't go down. So I'm afraid the firemen or something, or the police or whatnot will have to come. But it's been crying all night. And I can't, like I would go on the roof, but it's the neighbor's roof, so I can't do that. Alright, let me think on how that could work. I'm setting the global position of the Lifebar. Using the global position of the monster, and normally this should work. I don't see why. Which setting is at fault here? Because the bars are moving, but... Oh, you have to use global transforms. What's happening? Monsters spawners. Create a life bar for each monster in the group. And hey, Enrique. What did I change right now? Okay, this should be good. Alright, let me do a bit of cleanup here. We're going to close all the scripts and start back from the demo. Alright. I get an error, so this is the test level, right? No, this is the cave. Okay, so I can understand why. But here, global position equals hook.global position. How come it's a null instance? Which node doesn't have an interface anchor? Normally it should be filtered by the Lightbars builder. No, I'm passing, hold on, initialize, create Lifebar. I remove the check, okay. So do I put that? Yeah, I want to put the check here. So if the actor doesn't have the, how did I call it? Interface anchor node, we return. We don't want to add anything to that monster. Okay. Ah, it's working. See? Good, 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 good. And the mosquitoes don't have a life bar because they don't really have life. Well, we could add a life bar, but they die in one hit. The porcupine is a bit different. Like the mosquitoes always die in one hit, regardless of the weapon, its damage, and all that stuff. And Henrique is back with his channel's account, actually. But it's just, if the porcupine also dies and we can't see the life bar animate, it's because temporarily the sword is overpowered. So let's change that back. Now it's going to deal 1 damage. There we go. So you can stagger the monsters by hitting them. And yeah. The only thing is it resets the monster state, so there's no it will be a bit too easy to kill them at the moment, but I've got to rewrite this monster as a Finite State Machine to to fix the next issue, because it should be using a, well, you don't have to, but it should be, right now it's using a flat state machine. So once it gets staggered, it goes back to idle afterwards. But if you want to fix that, you want to create push down automaton. I've been up since 3:30 in the morning, so. By just turning on pixel snap in the project settings, yeah, I haven't looked into that right just yet. Okay, if that's enough, let's call this a day. Okay, cool. Thank you. Did you make a pull request for that, or? Well, now it's fixed here as well. Because as I told you, so Henrique wants to work a little bit, wants to see if he can contribute stuff on this project, but yeah, I'm going to push everything I just made. So I'm also working on it right now. I want to push the course as fast as possible. Let's go with the status. Okay, we're going to add the interface, the demo. Okay, just on the interface, we're going to add the demo, and I think can I do it this way on? I can also do it this one PowerShell. No, doesn't work. I can pipe. Okay, works. Good to know. So oh, you're working on the level. Okay, so PicDev is actually making a nice level for the game. Yes, you'll have to rebase on the latest master. I'm not going to touch the Grasslands scene, so go ahead, you can work on it. And tell me when you're done with it. I will grab the pull request and show it to everyone, then we can test your level. So this project is open source. As a reminder, this is everything that is taught in the course that make Pro 2D games. It's links in the description and more, actually. But it's putting all the techniques taught together, because the course isn't linear, so it's not everything step by step from zero. Anyway, if you look at the code, because this starts to get into real world code, it's just not possible to cover it step by step. Making a real game is not a step by step process. So yeah, if you want to get to intermediate level and start to explore patterns, etc., you've got to learn techniques and learn to apply them to your own projects afterwards. So git commit. Hey Philippe, Philippe, how do you say it? And hey Taka as well. Okay, we've add hookable Lifebar. Closes, it's going to close 37. Actors, update soul damage. There are lots of improvements that can be made, like the sword right now is using a hard-coded combo, and it would be nice to separate the combo data, and I don't know how you could expose it to the interface, but line go away please. Okay, thank you. Yeah, sorry, I have to keep the chat right now, that line thing, because of the cat issue, cat on the rooftop. And in Japan, you use that application to communicate. Okay, and fixes artifacts in tile maps. Tile. Good night, Marino. How are you doing? Oh, good evening. Philip. Philip is fine. Okay. Okay, let's push that. I'm going to heat up the coffee right now. And I'm taking the microphone with me. Woo! And what are we going to work on next? I don't know. By the way, we've also been doing work on the video editing tools. We make like power sequencer for Blender yesterday with Guilherme and Henrique. And we closed 7 or 8 issues yesterday, I think. Removed all the open bugs pretty much, except for one, I think, and prepared for some future improvements. It's at some point I think we could do a live stream together, maybe, like do a live coding session. Maybe it wouldn't be that interesting though, I'm not sure. But I'm not sure this one stream is that interesting either. I mean, it's interesting if, well, you want to see real coding happening in Godot with the struggle and someone being sick actually coding. Well, they should probably be resting a little bit. But you can also ask questions. That's the most important part about it, and we can talk. Just wanted to drop in and say, I think you're really cool for giving so much to open source. That's where I want to be someday. Big fan. Thanks to you, Jigamu. I'm glad to hear that. It's... yeah, I'm trying to build something that goes a little beyond myself. And hopefully it's getting there, slowly but surely. Be right back. So starting from the next project, it's going to be like... I'm looking to do game development open source, not from absolutely zero, but pretty much from the start, and have you involved. Hey Nathan, based on the icon for the JRPG, can I try one for this project as well? This one is part of the course, so I already have assets and visual style. You can try, but I'll probably end up remaking it, you know, to match the course, to have a common... I'm going to redo the course banner as well, so... Please more 3D. Well, more 3D means please 3D at all, because there's none on the channel right now. Yeah, 3D is going to 3D is going to come to the channel. I used to be a 3D artist and I love working in Blender, but I just don't have the time to do everything. That's it. And the thing is, I've made that course like with an educational intent. If you want to start to do 3D, it's really good to start with 2D because the vast majority of what you learn applies, but at the same time, it's much simpler, the workflow and all. Like when you start to get into 3D assets, it's a lot more complicated than handling 2D assets. The gameplay things, the math can get more complicated, etc. A lot of gameplay things like an inventory, the UI, loading, unloading level, audio and all that stuff pretty much works the same. So really it's worth going through 2D as a stepping stone to end up doing 3D. I really want to do more and I really want to get back into it, but imagine people are going to ask for assets, modeling, all that stuff on top of code. So yeah. And the other thing is, I would like to have at least to build some experience with 3D before I really jump into it. Although, yeah, or have the money to work with someone who has more experience with 3D and Godot than I do. So that way we can do proper tutorials from the start. Okay, let's get to the next issue. Again, today I'm a bit sick, so I'm gonna be a bit slow. So what do we have next? The coins. This is going to be fun. Did you PR already, by the way? No, not yet. Okay, so the boss death and die animation and rock particles hitting the walls. These ones are pretty simple, so let's do these. Okay, so we want the player to be able to die. When the player goes to, well, when the player dies, I have a set dead function. Where is it? Is it on the actor? Set dead. Okay. We disable the collision polygon. We emit the died signal. We stop process input and physics. Okay, now how about the state machine? When we enter died. Okay, when the health is depleted, change the state to die. So it's going to head to this one. Set the owner to dead. Get the animation player to play the idle one. To play the die animation. Okay, I remember the die animation just doesn't exist. That's it. Okay, let's create a die animation from stagger, I guess. I'm going to duplicate you and call you die. You bet it's not going to work if the animation does not exist. But yeah, beyond doing this or that tutorial, you know, there's right now I have to care about money and making revenue to hire people. So people like Henrique and Guilherme do some work open source, some contributions like Big Dev is doing right now. But the freelancers I work with, like Henrique and Guilherme, I have to pay them, obviously. And there's more people I want to be able to pay to get work done. And I mean, we're preparing a pretty sizable project, and we've got to strike a good balance between every time contributing to open source, which really doesn't bring money in, and yeah, just managing to make products that people want to buy or they can give to friends if they just want to support GDQuest. Okay, so die is going to be, and the character is going to disappear. You see with mouth noises how easily we can create. Hold on, I'm going to sneeze. Okay, let's animate the scale of the character down. And same thing on the shadow, we're going to Scale you down to 0. Okay, or more or less 0. There we go. And we want to animate the modulate on the shadow as well to create that depth animation. Well, here to there, we're going to fade you out. Okay, now you need to duplicate the starting keyframes. Otherwise, there we go. It's working. I'm still pretty new. Taka says, I would really appreciate a tutorial that explains in detail how to read the class's help. I'm still pretty confused about what all the stuff means. Yeah, definitely. That'll be it's in the to-do list already. Like tons of other tutorials. Why is my nose running now? I'm opening the stream. It was okay this morning. Jeez. Okay, give me a sec. Okay, depth animation done. Pretty much. So, shadows modulate. It's not okay. I'm going to change the key here. Okay, key changed. There we go. Should be fine. All right. So the player has a depth animation, and when the animation ends, we're going to cue the character 3. I guess. Yeah, the thing with programming APIs, once you wrap your hand around how a class works, and you just any framework, any tool, you're going to be able to read the API and just learn from it. But it's true that the first time you get into it, it's a little tough. Okay, so maybe I'm going to use the die state finish signal on the player to cue it free. So on die finished, I'm going to remove the keyword here. When the state emits the finish signal, we're going to cue you free, my dear. And how do we know that the die animation is finished? We're going to add the callback that I'm using everywhere else. On animation finished, that's part of the state interface that all states are using. So it's going to get the animation name, and we emit the finish signal. All right, and normally this should give us a player dying. Okay, let's go to the mosquitoes that can kill you faster. There we go. Stopped. The player was cued free. The camera removed from the tree. Okay. Error calling the method from... The method expected one argument? Which one? Anim name. Hold on. The player's state machine expected an argument? Yeah, okay, so we're just going to pass it because that's the way the system works, and put none or something like that. Now they move very slowly. Actually, you can walk away from them literally. They just three hit you. Okay, so if you get hit twice during a stagger, I think you re-enter stagger. and you take twice the damage. So how can we do that? When we enter stagger, we want to make the character invincible, and so we want to make it not re-enter stagger, obviously, but okay. Let's see on the actor. I have set dead. The direction. If the state machine's current state is stagger, we're not going to take damage. So this way the monsters, I don't want to make the character only invincible, because I want the mosquitoes, for example, to explode on the character but not damage him twice. Okay. Okay, so the player didn't die properly. Let's see. So I really want the death to interrupt the state machine. Let's see that. When the health is depleted, we change the state to die. On the state machine. Should I make die a special case or something? Let me see, why is this happening? I'm trying to track the flow of events right now. So the die animation did not play. Okay, we're going to start using breakpoints here. We want to play the die animation and want to break here as well. It's not radio, it's a friend's music actually. Okay. Okay, which health damage taken, health depleted. Hold on. What are you calling? Okay. What? What did I do? When the health is depleted. Okay, I messed up. I see. I'm trying to pass an argument. Well, there should be none. Mega Man 2? What? This current music is a medley and remix from Mega Man 2, exactly. But the author is in the description. Mariano, if you're interested, I have some... No, sorry Mariano, I'm working with Godot 3 and no problem, I've got all my code. Okay, so I've got a new bug. On the monsters, on the porcupine in this case. Yeah, but I'm not... If you have something for... If you have the demo, like a clean demo for Godot 3 with really clean code, I'd be interested, but... Aside from that, like it needs to... I need projects that are clean, otherwise I can write the code myself, but for tutorials I need the code to be clean and well organized, you know? Okay, gotta blow my nose. Alright, back. Yeah, most of the code I can find online is just would make me waste a lot of time. Because the needs for tutorials are different than what people write when they make a quick test, you know. Check out this notification right there. Yeah, but I'm not looking for that on this project, by the way. Well, yeah, well, if you want to, that would be nice, but for just making your PR, yeah, Epic Dev, I'm going to check your PR in a sec. And Mariano, just if you can put up a project on GitHub on your own repo or something, that would be most valuable. And if you put it under the MIT license, I can just do a tutorial around it. Okay, so monster, it's crash as the player, monster's target dies. Okay, it's a bug, gotta fix it. Okie dokie, what else? So the depth animation works now, we have it. So I'm going to send that. And this closes 39. Okay, let's do that, push it, and then we're going to check your PR. Okay, finish. Yep. Okay, Grassland level design. Okay. All good. However, you left the use pixel snap, so I'm going to delete the change. Well, no. Okay. I can't. Can't I? Oh, I can cherry pick the commit like that. Let's see. Get cherry pick. It's going to be. Okay, I've got to add the remote, I guess. Let's see the help for that. Cherry pick from a specific branch or repository. I can't pull that change. I would like to only pull that one. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna go through the conflict and I'll be fine. There's no conflict? Well, good. So thanks for the PR. Okay, we've got the Grasslands to play with now. Freshly made by Henry K. Oh, that is pretty cool. Yes. Actually, did you add the polygons by hand? The bushes should have collisions inside the tile set. Let's see. Hold on. How did I name the tile set for the Grasslands? It's gonna be in world. Is it in world? Tile sets, outdoor. Let's go to the bush, auto tiles, collision. They were not defined, but you could have defined it Yeah, well, that's fine. Doesn't matter. It's cool to have a level, thank you. Okay, so these gaps are... You can't fall into them. I was trying to find a way to have the character fall into the gaps like these in the tile maps instead of having these hard-coded pits. I'll have to see though. Alright. So that's all good. We're going to try the level right now. On the demo, start level. Going to change it to Grasslands. There we go. They didn't have collisions and they had grasslands. Okay, I've got to make sure that the player at the start is going to start from the setup animation as well. All right. All right, it didn't work. Hold on, why won't you play setup? Why are you becoming invisible at the start? Ah, it's just that setup doesn't reset everything at the moment. All right, so what do we have to reset? We have to reset the animation. Godot. I'm really looking forward to the anime in Godot, the next version, because sometimes it's a little painful. Like, you don't have a setup pose that you animate relative to. And this makes it a little hard to do clean animation at the moment. Okay, that should be fine. So you have to make a manual setup state to kind of clean everything. I'm sorry about the sounds, by the way, it's probably a little dirty. Okay, you can fall in the pit while jumping. That's interesting. If you're jumping normally... Yeah. That's a cool bug, though. That's really interesting. Woo! You can still get hit by monsters, though. Eh? They can't... Ah, they can hit me still. Okay, you have the shop that doesn't block the character anymore. And if I try to buy something, I think the game will crash still. Yeah, I have to check. This is typically when one scene somewhere has broken dependencies, but you don't get the warning. Okay. There's a bug when you want to select a collision to edit after you created add the tile set. So maybe it's better to not add collision to auto tiles for now. It's Godot 3.0, by the way. Is it an issue in 3.0? Okay, there's a inertia issue. So inertia was working. I don't know when I broke it. Add inertia from the move state. Okay, and this is... I consider this to be a bug as well. It was working at some point, but now, you know. So the things to do and to add are getting cleared up, and this is good news at the moment. Okay, you can do weird stuff with the collisions. What? What happened? Is it due to the shape of the collider? Okay, well, at least we have a base level to play with. Let's go enter the boss's den then. I have to add that Weissel thing. Okay, so we will have the shop. Ah, crap. What am I doing? This is not the stairs to the boss. Okay, can enter boss's den. Okay, now it's completely messed up. Okay, so this broke a lot of stuff. Maybe not that much, but... Is it a bug that's specific to that level? Hold on. The code became spaghetti. Yeah, I mean, it's part of the game. It's not that horrible, but I mean, the problem is it's not about like the code itself of individual components is fine. The problem is I've been working on that course project over 1 year. Godot went through lots of changes, starting during Godot 3 beta. And you can see, for example, the boss is working fine. There are some bugs, but that's part of the game. It's really part of the game when you do it over such a long period of time. The only difference is really when you make a game, you're going to fix things as you go. And you're going to integrate features as you go. While now, I can do like I took lots of components from different projects that were teaching specific concepts, and I'm putting them all together. Like, just go look at the big games code, and this is complicated, as you'd expect. But that's why normally, at first it's a lot of work to make a game, and you generate, over the course of development, you're going to generate hundreds and hundreds of bugs. Did you read my latest post? You're going to be mad? Nope. Can you share your latest post? Okay, so we have that. Particles when the ball hits the walls. Okay. Directional rock. Yeah, okay, I've got to fix some things here. I'm going to use this one. It's a little slow though. We want the directional rocks to go a bit faster than that. So speed scale. Okay, I don't know if they'll be very visible on the walls, but we're going to add these to the boss. These from chapter 6. Alright. Little bitty boss. We're going to add... Do we want them... Yeah, I guess I want them to spawn from... Which one is it? Sprint. Sprint or bump? I can apply them to bump. So, rock, directional rock. We're going to have we're going to reference them via code. Okay, so rock. We're going to have a constant for that. On enter, we're going to create a new rock. So rock particles. And we're going to place them, add them as a child of... Where do we add them? As a child of the bus. Want them to place them on the impact, but... Do I put them in sprint then? Get slide count. Okay. Get collision. Get slide collision. Okay. And get slide collision 0. What do I get in the... I get a kinematic collision 2D. And there's a position. So perfect. We're going to add it here instead of in the bump state. Yes, from bump, I'm going to grab these two lines. And we're going to spawn the particle at this point because we have the position, the collision point to work with. Alright, so we're going to create a new directional rock. Dot instance. And we're going to place them at the collision point. So it's going to be top level. Dot. Do we use an initialize method? Okay. Initialize collision dot position. And we're going to add them as a child of this node. It's fine. Okay, so we have the collision's position. What other info do we get? The normal. Perfect. So we're going to use the collision normal to change the angle of the rocks as well. Collision dot position, collision dot normal dot angle, I guess. Let me see on the vector2 class. Yeah, the angle. It returns the angle. Perfect. And so on the rock particles, I've got to do a few things. So and then we're going to add the particles as a child of this node. Add a child, rock particles. We're going to have them spawn and free themselves. Okay, directional rocks. So let's create a built-in script for them. Add an initialize method that's going to take a position and an angle. And global position is going to be equal to this. The collision position. Is it global or not? The point of collision. Great, but is it a global position or not? Can I go to global? To global. Converts local point coordinates to global coordinates. Okay, we can use that. Worst case scenario. So let's see if it works, and if it doesn't, we'll convert it to a global position. Okay, so collision.position, collision.normal.angle. Pass these two. And okay, so hey, hold on, go back here. So global position is going to be equal to that position. The angle, is it rotation, is equal to the angle. Is it Hail and Media and Game Endeavor? There's a question, is it okay to mix melee and projectile collisions in one character? The answer is yeah, sure. No problem. Okay, what else do we have to set? We want to play the particles. Yeah, okay. We're going to do this. We're going to create a timer. Get the tree. Create timer. The duration is going to be lifetime times speed scale. Well, divided by speed scale, and we're going to yield onto this. On its timeout, and then we're going to queue you free as you're done animating. Let's call it one shot. Or do you have a signal? No, you don't have any signal, so we're going to use the timer here. So the particles are going to emit once, and then they're going to delete themselves, free themselves. Alright, seems to be fine to me. And while back, we put all that in sprint. So we could add a new function called spawn rock particles collision collision points. Well, if you want to do it, no, that's not. Yeah, okay, let's do this. Spawn rock particles, and we're going to put this code here. Since you have the actual overlapping of the area, so PigDev is answering answering the thing of having a projectile you can shoot and melee weapon at the same time, and he's saying you have overlapping areas. You don't want the character doesn't shoot to not shoot and hit at the same time. Actually, there's nothing specific to that. Your character could have a hitbox, and the hitbox detects when something enters it, and that's... I'm using a script here called damage source, and I'm just checking when anything that's a damage source enters the hitbox of a monster or a character. I just check if it's a damage source, I can take the damage. End of the story. And yeah, it doesn't matter, you can do all that with a single hitbox. Okay, rock particles, position, normal, okay, and okay, and I guess this shouldn't be too bad. Hold on. Gotta go back to the boss. Okay, I've got to take some life out from the boss. For it to start charging. What? You can't get the tree? What's that? Okay, okay, fine. I'll just create a timer for now. We're going to create a timer. End of the story, so timer dot wait time gonna be equal to, it was lifetime divided by speed scale. We start the timer, wait it to time out, and there we go. Okay, now I'm going to do the usual I'm doing lately, is to store the nodes I'm using at the top of the script, so that way you can not only see the children in the tree, but can also see all the nodes you are accessing in your game, in GD script. And well, apparently getting nodes, like getting lots of nodes as the game scales, it starts to cost in performances. Like if you do 10,000 get nodes like these, it can be a bit taxing instead of storing the references to the objects in variables. So all in all, I'm doing it for code readability, but it's not too bad, right? So we've got to fix the new issues that appeared on the bus. On base nil? What's that bug? Okay, sometimes in Godot, you've got to reopen the project. Did you initialize before adding it to the scene? Okay, my bad, probably. Okay, so back to the sprint. Back to the sprint, and at this point, spawn rocks. Yeah, okay. I have to invert these two lines. Hi there. Yeah. Thank you, Mariano. Ah, crap. That was just that. Yeah, these kinds of small errors. Well, when you write code, you've got to be precise with all the instructions you write. The order matters, obviously, and yeah, especially when you get tired, you make small mistakes like these so quickly. Okay, I'll be right back. And I'm back, and I need water. Thanks for the kind words. And yeah, GDScript is a really concise language. It's very efficient. Okay. So now I want to go back to the rock particles. And another reason, just note that one reason I may have some classes as constants, and I'm using preload here. For one, there's loading performances. It's going to load the resource at compile time if it can. Then it's because you can control click on any full path like this to open the file in the editor. And same thing, you can do that with the extends keyword here. You can control click to open the source script. Yeah, Marino is talking about optional typing right now. That's in Godot 3.1. This is so much better. Really, so there was that note about spaghetti code before, and as the complexity of the game grows, your scripts are going to get split up and things can get messy. You've got to refactor as you go, you've got to integrate features as you go, really. But without typing, you get less autocompletion and fewer errors and warnings. And because of that, you have to launch the game every time and crash it to spot a lot of small mistakes you make. Okay. Directional rock is here. And we're going to go back to our get tree. Okay, so we're going to create the timer here. Get tree, create timer of length lifetime divided by speed scale. Wait for it to time out and queue the node 3. Now, I want to do two things because I'm working on the boss. I don't want to have to go to the level every time. So let's go to world levels. And I've got to reorganize that project a little bit as well later. We're going to start on the boss, but we also want to start on phase 2. So where is it? Phase 2. Here. That way it should charge. No. What is phase 2 then? Or am I setting phase 1 based on the monster's life? No, it's going to charge. Ah, there you go, it works. Look at that. There was a slowdown on not loading, so it might be because of what's in the debugger right now. Okay, not found stats, because it's health in here. No, not found timer. Okay, so that's why. And that's it. Okay. And then on the boss, the problem is the health node is called stats. The stats node is called health still. And let's just see. It seems fine. I think there was no direct reference to the node named as health. The find and replace in the entire scene is going to be so welcome. Okay, initialize with the health node. Hold on. Stats here. Okay, should be fine. Can you continue? Yeah, it seems to be fine now. Okay, I'm going to stats. A search and replace in the entire scene. Really can't wait for that in Godot 3 because this is for refactoring. This is so important. Okay, it seems to be working fine now. Let's see. It spawned. It also spawns, yeah. Not only if it hits a wall, but also if it hits the player. So let's see. Can I check in the sprint? Okay, so I've got the collision. If the collision dot collide body, I think that's what it is. Kinematic collision 2D, and we have collider. The colliding body. Okay, so collider. So if it's not the player, so if it's not the owner's target, we're going to spawn rock particles. It's the owner's target. Okay, let's see. On the state machine, I think the phases are defined here on the boss for now. And we're going to we're going to return charge sequence. Yeah, we're going to return charge sequence all the time. There we go, at the start. Crap. Okay, so I need a reference to the player here as well. No, I need to check script. Hold on. If the collisions collider is a player controller, if it's not a player controller, we're going to emit the particles. Okay, this works. Try to charge on the player, let's see. Boom! Player's only going to get hit harshly. Okay, so the rocks are not that visible. There's one thing actually, Harry, if you're interested, these are small things, but making, I'm going to commit all that, and making the rocks here more visible, like improving the particles and these ones as well on the porcupine. Here on the grass, the dust is visible, but the dust is small, I think. But here, the dust is just not visible. Finding a color that works in all cases, like making it, one option is to make it darker overall. So improvements like these could really use help for these. Even though, again, it's like, it's not major things, but and yeah, there's still that bug. Let's fix all that. Type languages are dumb for small projects prototyping. No, type languages, it's not dumb. Like, if you always work with them, the thing is, when you have types, you again, you have much better autocompletion warnings, and it's really, it doesn't necessarily take that much more time to write. Like, it's not a huge difference, and it's just if you're going to use them at some point, better use them from the start, so that you get these warnings as you go. These warnings and all prevent bugs. So because of that, the small amount of time, your extra effort you're putting into writing extra syntax might actually save you bugs and time on that. I have no complaints when it comes to Godot. I've seen an amazing third-person shooter demo. Yeah, it's crazy how you just need some pretty graphics and everyone is going to be, oh wow, actually it can do that. Yeah, sure, you should read the notes. Well, you need some experience to understand these things, and a lot of even professionals will wait to see an impressive example, will wait for other people to benchmark the tool before they use it themselves. And this makes sense. But the wow effect, especially on beginners, like more beautiful games with Godot will attract lots of beginners to the engine, I think, just because it's like, wow, you can make super professional graphics and all, or super professional games, and I want to make super good things like these. So I'm going to use this engine, even if it's the wrong tool for you. Like, if you just want to make a small 2D game, for example, or if you only have the resources to do that, and very little experience with programming, Godot is going to take time to learn. It's a very feature-complete engine, meaning there's a lot to learn with it. Okay, let's do git status, git add. Everything. Okay. Shop player. What's that? Okay, I move the player into the shop inadvertently. Let's copy the path. What are you doing in the shop? Paying it a visit, obviously. Oh. Okay, hold on, because I was preloading the player into the sprint. Here, actors player controller.gd. Yeah, so it's the script file. Afterwards, there would be lots of small things we can add to the boss. Like, for example, I want to add a bit of screen shake when it hits the walls, but also things like when it arrives at the end of the spawn, it's going to do a raw. That's going to that would be cool to have some shader for that, like a shockwave shader. I'd like to add things like these. Okay, anyway. Add everything because that was messed up. Git status, modified, all that. Okay, good. What did we add already? Ah, yeah. Add. Close this first too. I think the best thing about typing is that it makes it clearer to understand the logic. I mean, for someone else to understand your code and for yourself to understand your code when you come back to it. Like, it's so common, especially if you're tired, you come back after 2 days, it's night and you have to fix something. You read the code and you have the function, even if you chose the names carefully enough for the variables, you're like, okay, I'm passing, for example, a position and an angle. It's like, okay, is the angle in degrees? Is the position global or local? Let me see the next comment. I have some code on a project where I constantly confuse functions and arguments with similar names that we receive different classes. Yeah, that's exactly that. I rarely finish typing a variable when using fully typed language. Just type 3-4 letters and let the IDE finish it. Okay. Yeah, the new ability in 3.1 to define the class keyword at the top and being able to reference it from anywhere, like any of the built-in classes, is huge. Really, really huge, because you don't have to preload the scripts into your GDScript files anymore, which saves lines of code, files that move, bugs, crashes. So very good. Polymorphism is basically the default way doc languages work, isn't it? So this is something you can read. With doc typing, you get polymorphism. And yeah, the thing is, with doc typing, you can get around polymorphism. Well, I mean, I have to check the word's definition. Well, because polymorphism just means the same class can take multiple shapes, and I think it's correct to say Hold on. Polymorphism definition. Because polymorphism means that you can use the same class in different contexts. Yeah, ability to process objects differently depending on their data type or class. Okay, so if it's that specific, if it's about the class of the object, then in doc-type languages, you are not using polymorphism per se, technically, but you are achieving the same result by checking if the object has a method or a property. Type GDScript, yeah, it's in the nightly builds. Sure, it's already in. Yeah, so as Mariano says, the thing with duck typing just means if you can, in a language like GDScript, you can just check if the class or node you are passing has a method, or has a node, or has a property, and if so, you just call that property, that method, or access that node. And you can use that to say, for example, you may have lots of things that can take damage in your game. You may have NPCs could take hits, the player, and the monsters. It doesn't matter if they inherit from the same class. All that matters is that they have the right method so that they can take damage. So if they have take damage defined, you may just check if the node has take damage, then call take damage on that node. If not, you just don't do it because it's going to crash. End of the story. There's another question. Is it possible to change the function of buttons and images at a certain duration with GDScript code? Yeah, sure. If you want to do something over time, you use the yield keyword. I'll open some Lifebar or something. Okay. I'm probably doing it somewhere here. No, I'm not. But you can have a function like that. So function, change, property. After, well, you should use the animation player for that, really. But if you need to do it from code, you can do it this way. So to change a property after a duration, hold on, wrong keyboard. You can do it with the yield keyword. You're going to create a timer, so you can use getTree.createTimer for that. And we're going to create a timer of the given duration and wait for it to time out. So you're sending an object to yield and you're waiting for it to emit the signal. That's the second argument. And so it's going to freeze this function in time for until this condition is fulfilled, this timeout signal is emitted. So all that time the function is going to stop here. And when you get the timeout signal, it's going to run the code that's after it. So you could say, then you could change the value to is equal to something, or you could say texture. Hold on, do I have textures on this one? Well, you can change any property or anything at that time, but again, animation player is the way to go. Okay, what do we fix next? I need a short break, really. My mind's starting to get cloudy. How much time has it been? 1 hour and a half. Okay, just give me 5 minutes. Do I make some more coffee? I've had 2 already. Yeah, okay. Let's just create a big label. Hey, expand, yo. to move you here, and tea time. We're going to put some font on it. Well, it doesn't matter. I think I can zoom on it. Oh, it looks so sexy. Tea time with professional graphics. Okay, come with me. Well, I can't take you to the bathroom actually, but I can take you to the tea board. Let's see. Yeah, we're going to boil some water. Grab some tea from Kyoto, a gift from one of my housemates. We have sencha, pojicha, or gyokuro. Gyokuro, I've never tried it. Sencha, I like sencha though. What is gyokuro? Gyokuro wa gyou kuro ka. Chigau. Gyokuro means high quality green tea. Okay, that's interesting. I didn't know. Okay, let's try you then. Let's see. I've got to clear my nose again because I really want to get the smell. Smells like matcha tea. Hold on. Blowing my nose. Be right back. Okay, and then while the water is heating up, I'm gonna go head to the bathroom and I'll be right back. And I'm back. Okay, I'm not in front of the chat just yet. Give me a more sec. This is hot. prefer over the high quality green tea. I hope that the glass won't mind. Absolutely disgusting plastic glass, but and this is plastic as always. Put up, put up, put up. Welcome to Japan, where everything is wrapped in plastic. And we're going to get back to extra an hour to an hour and a half of extra work. Okay. There you go. Okay, I'll let you talk amongst yourselves, and let's remove that label and work on the next issue. Right. Next, we've got to do that Y-sort thing, which I'm not sure how to best handle. Design the growling sound for the appearing boss, sidechain to the music. Okay, we've got the coins to do. Playable level for the Grassland. Okay. No, not done by G-Quest, done by Harry K. Alright. And then we'll be left mostly with bugs to fix. Small improvements to make. Okay, tea is going to be ready soon. Alright, so add this lootable coin. I don't think I have a sprite for it. Do I? Well, we have this one. We're going to use it for now to code the coins. So coins are going to be an area 2D, an element that you can collect, so coin. And we're going to have some sprites in there. Reset the position to 0. Alright. Collect area is going to be a shape 2D. We're going to use a circle. Pig Dev's asking, should I open the issue about the particles? Can I just dig that directly? No, you can work on it directly. What was the conversation about? Programming is a creative activity, just like you do design work as a developer. You can do mindless work as a developer if you want, like grunt work. But as a professional designer, I can tell you that you can do mindless work as an artist as well. And no, it's not that subjective. Like, it's not more subjective than code, really. The art style and all that stuff. What is good code, how to architecture your system. I mean, there are entire programming paradigms. There are tons of languages. People making new languages all the time. Try to fix fundamental issues or what they consider to be fundamental issues in other languages. There are new frameworks, there are tons of engines. There's definitely, it's very, very subjective. Yeah, as Mariano says, this is a very good point. Software architecture is architecture. So it's this is a design activity. Okay, you've got to solve problems that are specific to the project, and there's no hard and fast rules. I mean, the code is objective. It can either work or not. Art can be beautiful for ones and not for others. Yeah, but if you put it that way, like code can run or crash, and art is a matter of taste. There's no relation. You cut all relationship between the two. You can't compare these two aspects of the two crafts. And if you take programming as a whole, this is a creative activity, and if you take art as a whole, this is a creative activity, depending on the context. At least both can be. And it's not enough to just have a working brain to code, or like code is not accessible to everyone. Programming is not for everyone. I think you need to, and you can see it with a lot of the developers you will find around open source communities. You have lots of creative people in there. Quite a few developers I know have dabbled into music, for example, or done a little bit of art, and all out of interest, which is not something that just everyone does, really. Okay, we have the collision shape. Let me think about the coins. So we need the player to monitor them, right? Do we make some coin attractor or something like that? Yeah, we don't need. This tea is good. This tea is really good. Alright, so let's... the coins, I think I don't need anything else. Yeah, I do need a coin sound effect to collect. Okay, question. Architecture question. Do I collect the coin from the character? Which part goes on the coin and which part goes on the character? And where do I put it? In my folder structure. Inventory items. No, it's not an actor. Is it part of the world? No. I think it's an item. Should be an item, but... yeah, let's just put you at the top and call you coins. Coins, and we're going to attach a script to it as well. We'll just want to play a sound effect when it gets collected. Okay, there's always that tricky question of the player is going to walk on the coin and it's going to collect it. But you want to handle part of it, like the coin being collected and deleted from the coin, and the coin being collected and added to the purse from the player. The joys of object-oriented programming. That's probably one of the messiest things about object-oriented programming. It's all about having objects being self-contained. It's having things communicate together and communicate as part of a system. BigDev says, I think the part of getting collected and all its features being deleted, etc. can be done in the coin. Yeah, but you also have, like, to add it to the purse, you don't want to add it to the player's purse from the coin, right? You want the coin collector on the player to do that. We're going to add one more thing. We're going to add an area 2D. And give it a shape. That's going to be large enough. How do we do that? How about we make a large area and we attract the coins to the player? Well, this should be a different node. Okay, so we have this. I'm going to call you coins collector. And we're going to save you somewhere. Okay. Save the branch as seen in actors. All around the top should be fine. Okay. So that coins collector is going to collect the coins. Okay, I think I need a new collision layer for objects. Okay, so this one's not going to be on any layer. It's only going to detect things on that new physics layer. Okay, 2D physics, and this is going to be items or collectibles rather. All right. And so it doesn't have to be well, it has to be monitorable. Okay. Just going to mask the collectibles, and when something enters, so on area entered, we're going to have you collect the coins. So we need to check that these are coins as well. Okay. And we want to... This tea is good. Okay, so on area entered, we're going to grab for instance, going to have an exported amount. Starting at 1, I guess. And then we're going to have a set get in place, a set amount, and setting the amount will change the texture. And I'm also going to make this a tool script, but I'll need to create a few sprites afterwards for that. So func set amount to a given value, so that you can see different stashes based on the amount of coins you have in one coin node. Okay, so amount is equal to value, and then but in the setter, yeah, it's going to be called at the start of the game. Okay. Have a good night, Taka. That's about it. Okay. Not area is coins. Okay. And then we want to the signal coins received. All coins found. Coins received. And we're going to forward the amount with a signal. So we emit the signal. And forward the amount that the player is then going to use. So going back to the player, we're going to connect this to the character's purse. and we want to connect it to the purses add coins function. So when we receive coins, we add them to the purse. To purse, we call add coins, and we'll forward the amount as well. There we go. Yes, Marino is saying, for example, the coin problem is that there are many ways to handle it. And one way is to call a method on a group. And I try to avoid that because the grouping system is essentially global state, global data. So I'm the Bob Ross of game development. No, not at all. I would need to say fun things, but... Oh, is it because I'm trippy or something? Mariano, maybe? I don't know. Yeah, that's it. And then... Okay, so... Okay, we can do this, like, two things like these. So we're going to put collectibles, and we're going to have a collector layer as well. So both areas are going to detect one another. So you're going to be on the collector area and detect collectibles from the player, from the coin collector. Should set it here. And from the coins, we're going to detect... Oh, so it's going to be a collectible, and we're going to detect the collector from here. And so, same thing on area entered. We're going to check that we are being collected by a coins collector. Jeez. Do we still have some music in the playlist? Okay, we still have one album to go through. What time is it? Almost 11. Okay. Let's fix this. And... Okay, so on area entered. The area is not coins collector. Return, otherwise we just queue free and end of the story. Because it's going to be queued at the end of the frame, the other, like, I should receive the coins on the player. Alright, let's place a few in the level. Are we starting on the test level? Nope, we're on the cave, I guess. Alright, so let's add a few coins to the test level. Whoa. Let me grab the coins. Okay, 1, 2, 3 stacks. Yeah, and we're going to make a much bigger sprite, as you'd expect afterwards. Emit signal. Coins received. Area.amount. Sure. Little typo. Let me just check the purse on the player. Should be fine. What's happening in the debugger? Okay, whatever. Grasslands. I want to go down to the player. Sadly, we can't filter nodes here in Godot 3. Doesn't work for the remote tree. Would be so helpful. So we go down to the purse. It has 36 coins. I started at 32. Okay, it's fine. It's working. And the coins are being deleted as you'd expect. So all good. Looked like you need a Y sword there. Yeah. It's in the open issues. Okay, everyone's getting crazy. The joy of game deving. Come on. Okay, what do we have here? Okay, well, I want to add project, world / level, and then actors and inventory. And this is going to close, add lootable, well, upon killing a monster, true. Yes, so we want, for the loot system, how do you handle that? Well, I'm going to change that, add lootable coins. For now. And just like that. Okay, and close this one. Have a good night, Big Dev. The cat's crying again. It's right next to the window. Hold on, let me check. So there's one thing I'm not too fond of with the Japanese culture is how people seem to delegate responsibility and avoid problems and all. So there's a cat on the roof that's stuck right now. And in the middle of the night, I put it won't go down. It's completely frightened and all. So I put a ladder and also it could go down, technically. But like I sent a message to everyone in the share house and you can see that people read it and they won't reply. So I was like, yeah, first I needed a small ladder for the cat to be able to go down. And it's crazy. I sent a message to the company that owns this place. You know, I'm a foreigner. I can't do that much. I'm not allowed to go on the roof. I'm not allowed to go on the neighbor's roof because I can climb, no problem. The cat is just frightened, so it flees anytime someone's here. But the thing is, it's been going on the rooftop of the neighbors, and everyone from the street can see it, can hear it, and no one does a single thing. No one's lifting a finger so far. Well, I did, but this seems to be not too uncommon here. It's like it's no one's responsibility, really. Hold on, I can hear him right here. I'm going to be right back. I'm going to place the table and ladder so it can hopefully come back down if it's back on our rooftop. but I'm not sure it will. Let's see. Be right back. Okay. Cat's under the solar panel right now. I don't have I don't have a telephone, actually. I don't know if firemen come get cats in Japan, but yeah, I mean the company who owns the place, they know for sure. So they could call, you know. They know I don't have a phone number. Anyway. Yeah, if I was back in France or in Europe, I would just go see the firemen, but the thing is, I'm living with 7 other Japanese persons who probably know how this works, but no one replied, so it's not their responsibility, I guess. One person lended me their small ladder to place out, because I know that the cat is frightened, but at some point, if it sees the ladder, it could come down on the balcony. and from the balcony it can go back down to the street, no problem. But right now it's just so frightened it won't. All right, I'm getting a little tired. Let's go for 20 more minutes, then I'll need a longer break because I've been up since very early, so I've worked quite a few hours already this morning. Okay, now about the coins. So I'd like to have them pop when something dies. How could we make that? I have to handle that logic from the coin, so we're going to have some throw function. It's an area 2D, so we're going to handle things by ourselves. Not physics process, set process to true. Okay. I'm going to make it so we can throw the coin and it's going to bounce on the ground. Okay, so function ready. We're going to, so we can randomize the motion as well. I don't know if, can we do it with a tween? This bounce, bounce, bounce. You have the bounce easing, but I don't think we can do it that directly. Okay, we're just going to calculate basic motion. So set process to false at the start. Then we're going to use throw to throw the coin. So we're going to have some start. We need some start like throw speed, so it's like a jump. So I'm going to have a velocity vector 2. Let me think, because we need some kind of height. Velocity horizontal. And we need some height as well, and gravity. Nope. Well, okay, let's just do that. We're going to start with throw. We're going to give it a random horizontal velocity. We're going to take random angle. Okay, randomize. I don't think I have to call randomize everywhere. I should call it just once on the game. Because it's a throw. We're going to do a random float times pi times 2 pi. This gives us a random angle that we can then convert to a vector. We're going to use vector 2 dot. Didn't we have? No, we use arctangent. Hold on. Arctangent 2. Yeah. No, that's not when you use it. Okay, we're just going to use the sine and cosine then. So velocity horizontal. So rather, we're going to have direction horizontal. Well, just direction. It's going to be a vector 2 that we set based on our random angle. So we're going to use the cosine of the random angle and the sine of that random angle. Okay. Now, with that direction, we have to give it some kind of thrust upward. That's going to determine the height the coin is going to go to. So thrust, well, not thrust, it's speed vertical. Okay, let's just do it like that. So with thrust, we're going to have the height go up based on that speed vertical value. Speed vertical is equal to rand float again. Plus 0.5 times 0.5. Oh, it's okay. We're going to make it between 0.5 and 1. So you can have, well, 0.2 plus 0.2, between 0.2 and 1, and multiply that by a speed, like a max vertical speed, which we're going to add at the top. So as an exported variable, max vertical speed is going to be, let's say, 500 pixels per second. All right. So when we throw the coin, we're going to define the base properties for it to move. And then in process, we're going to split it into two things. It's going to move at a constant speed on the X and Y axis. We have to set that actually. Speed vertical, speed horizontal. We're going to split these two into two variables, because if I just have a vector2 as a speed and the X component is horizontal and the Y is vertical, like it's really about the speed on the horizontal plane and the speed on the Z axis if you want. So I want these to be separate. Horizontal, okay. And so my speed horizontal is going to be rand float times, let's say something along those lines, times max horizontal speed. Which is going to be 300 pixels per second. Okay. So while simulating 3D here in a 2D game, right? Now, we're going to is it coming down? There's a cat walking on the tiles. Okay, let's just wait. All right. Height is going to be plus equals. Okay, so height is going to be plus equals speed vertical times delta. And we're going to remove, so we want to manage the vertical movement and the horizontal one. Speed vertical, we remove. What do we remove? Gravity. Oh. We're going to define a new gravity value. Okay, so we're going to have some starting thrust, and then we're going to accelerate down. Then we add that to the height, which is going to give us our vertical motion. And So I think we're going to move the area to the horizontally and animate the coin bouncing. But you can still loot the coin from its shadow, from the base. Let's try this. So we're going to set the position on the area 2D node to max horizontal speed to speed horizontal times delta, and height is going to be converted to, we're going to animate the coins, like the sprite itself going up, sprite.position .y is going to be equal to height minus height, because going up is going negative on the y-axis. Yeah, it's going around on the roof, at least it's moving now. All right. Right, so we assign the position to minus the height. We want to bounce the height as well, so when the height comes down below 0, so if height is lower than 0, speed vertical minus equals minus speed vertical, so we reverse the vertical speed times damping factor. Going to add that new damping factor between 0 and 1. And this is how much it's going to bounce, like how much is going to be reduced, like the height of the jumps as the coin bounces. Damping factor is going to be, let's say 0.6 every time. So it's going to always go only 60% of its height after every bounce. What next? I think it's a start. I think it's the start. So on all coins on red, you are going to call throw to see how they work in the demo on the level. Let's see that at this point. If there's any bug. What did I do? Height has no value. Height equals 0. Speed horizontal times direction times delta. Where did I set? Okay, I do have the direction here. Right. Hey, Travis. Okay, it's not working too well. Throw. Did I forget a delta somewhere? I think. Height plus equals speed verticals times delta. Speed vertical minus equals gravity times delta. Hey, really? It's the how is it called? Super chat you're doing? That would be the first time ever. That's crazy. Thank you very much. First time ever. Really. No joke. Where did I mess up? I need to inspect these values. So let me hold on. I should put a breakpoint really. put a breakpoint on process and just inspect the values. Okay. So each of them has a direction. The gravity is set, height is 0, speed horizontal, speed vertical, not that huge, but maybe I need a lot more thrust to start with. It's going to be max, start, vertical, thrust. And let's go with 3000. Let's try and see that. What do we get? Speed vertical is much higher now. The value is still low. Hold on. Times 0.8. I messed up. Times 0.6. Okay. Messed up one calculation. Just trying it out. What does the super chat thing do? I think you can put a message when you give a tip, and you can just have it like it's going to stick to the chat for a given amount of time. Okay, process. My speed vertical looks like something now. Alright, let's just remove the breakpoint and keep going. Yeah, rand float should be 0 to 1. It's bouncing now. Yeah, so the thrust was not enough. However, the horizontal speed is way too high. So it's going to be, say, 80 even. Now the gravity is... Wow. Hold on. Gravity is going to be 2000. Starting thrust, 2000. Let's see. Yeah. Random float should be a value. Whoa. That's crazy. It does bounce, but it bounces in a crazy fashion. Okay. Okay, so speed horizontal is between 0.6 and 1 times max horizontal speed. Okay, let's use the same values as above. Just 20% variations. And to have a value, no, it's going to be a value between 0.2 and 1 times max horizontal speed, which is very small. So normally position plus equals speed horizontal times direction times delta. And it should be at most 80 pixels per second, which should not move that fast. Now the problem might be that vertical thrust here. Let's see. The way I'm doing the calculation, maybe it's too high. Why is it going that high? Coins are just gone, you know? Okay, I want to see the shapes in the editor, simple collision shapes, and normally we should see, yeah, the area. So this coin worked well. The other one here, wow, went to a crazy height. Hold on, how did you go that high? Minus equals gravity times delta. Height plus equals speed verticals times delta. I need to inspect that value over a few frames. So the height is still at 0. Next frame, still at 0. 65 point. Okay, 65 pixels in one frame. It's quite a lot. Next frame, 200. Oh, it's accelerating. Ah, because... Hold on. Speed vertical minus equals gravity times delta. Hold on, I need to see my speed vertical now. It's getting higher. Got very high, now it's going back down. Yeah, the speed vertical evolves way too fast. So gravity. How about if I take you down to 100? Okay. Yeah, there's something messed up in the calculation. What am I doing? So I'm removing gravity times delta, which is 100 times a small value. Now if if the speed vertical is lower than 0, we'll reverse it. Okay, makes sense. Got it. Well, we're going to remove the breakpoints and keep going. Yeah, so now the gravity is way too small. Makes sense. Makes total sense. Okay, so 2000 should be nice. Whoa. Oh, out of this world. Yeah, I told you I'm tired today, so it's a bit hard. You know, it's something I've coded before, and yet... No, it's height. It's the height you want... Ah, yeah, it's the height. Jeez, what am I doing? Really? If the height is lower than 0, reverse the speed, but height we add... Okay, so height should be going up and then down, like the value should go like that. It has a start thrust, so at first we go from the ground, we add a value, and we slowly make our speed negative. I just set the coin's Y position to minus height. Okay, I just want to print height. That'll be easier like that, get a few samples. Shouldn't get to 1000 and values like these. It should be much smaller than that. I don't understand what my values are doing here. It's not properly... It's Adrien. Actually someone I've been in touch with since the very early RPG Maker days for a very long time. Okay, I'm drinking green tea to your health. Nice to see you here. I'm completely KO, but nice to see you. Okay, so the speed... We're going to lower the horizontal speed as well, yeah, over small amounts of time. Hold on, what was the formula again? if you want to use linear interpolate, I think I'm just, hold on. Could use a timer, that would be the simplest way to do it. Yeah, we're going to do that. We're going to have a timer on the coin. Otherwise, if you want a precise lerp to 0, you need to use a math formula. I'd have to search for it, so instead we're going to use the timer. So we're going to start the timer. Yeah, it's not just lerp. If you just lerp like that, it's never going to get to 0. But if you want to lerp over a given duration, you need to use the square root of t, or I don't remember the formula, really. If you want to lerp over a specific duration from 100% to 0. So yeah, Adrien, are you still working in the? You were working in 3D, but did you get to work at Guerrilla Games in the end? We haven't spoken in a long time, and I remember that you wanted to go there. You're heading to bed at 5 AM, 4:30. That's 3:30. Did we? There was a time change. Yeah, let's get in touch soon. Just hit me up anytime. So have a good night. So where were we at? Yeah, I'm going to use the timer. So using timer dot time left. Timer wait time. I'm going to use that value to scale the horizontal speed. Position plus equals speed horizontal times timer the time left divided by timer the wait time. Okay, so speed scale till it reaches 0. Okay. All right, so the horizontal part, no problem. All right, can remove that. It should work fine. And the timer is looping, so one shot, please, sir. Then we can randomize the timer at the start. So yeah, we're going to set the timer wait time to a random value in a range. Do I have a random range? Yeah, I do. Float from, so between 1 and 2 seconds. Speed horizontal equals max horizontal times. No, because the coins are bouncing, so they are going to bounce multiple times before they stop. Okay, this is going to work fine. Now I just need to do the vertical part. You just go crazy. Okay, so the bounce works, but they just jump crazy high. And that's why. Jeez, I forgot the delta value right in the middle here. Hold on, no. I have it. Jeez, definitely. I'm not fresh anymore. I'm going to stop the stream here, I think. Because I need to take a break. It's been... yeah, since 7 this morning. Since 4 this morning. So... it's close to 7 hours. I've not been working continuously, but you know, yeah, I have 80% variation, but that's not the problem. The problem is they are jumping up to thousands of pixel high. Well, it shouldn't be so. Okay, let's reduce the variation to 0.5, but now the problem is the maximum bounce height is just, look at that. It's completely ridiculous. And the problem is I get that with values that are... my gravity should be in pixels per second squared. Max start vertical thrust should be 300 pixels per second. Hold on, so the max speed vertical start at max start vertical thrust. So 300 pixels per second multiplied by delta should be a fairly low value. See, speed verticals times delta, that's what we add to the height. Height that starts at 0, right? Did I not mess up with that? Okay, I should put you all at the top of the script. Horizontal, vertical, and the height. Okay, let's break here and look at the speed vertical and horizontal we are starting with. Speed horizontal is fine. Speed vertical is what? Max start. Okay, so this is a value between 0 and 1. Max start vertical thrust. Did I inadvertently... actually it was not changing the value from the script. I see. Makes a lot more sense now. The value was just really high. Now it's just as bad. Oh, let's try again. Speed, vertical, properties change. 2000 max start vertical thrust is still at... okay, got it. Got it. Test level. Let's go back to, hold on. Test level, yeah. There you go. Think I got why this is happening. Sorry. Let's go back to the test level. And I don't want you to... Okay, so actually they were bouncing in the background in the test level because it's in tool mode. I see. You bet it gets messed up like that. Okay. Going back to coins. It's working fine. Now on the test level, what's their state now? I'm kind of still using the tool mode. Okay, I'm just going to delete the coins here. Save everything. My coins is not in tool mode anymore. Okay. Okay. So yeah, tools mode, powerful, but I hadn't used it in a little while, like in this context. Tool mode, so Matthias is asking about tool mode. Tool mode allows you to run code in the editor, anything, and you can use that. Ah, there we go, now it's being correct. And then you have that at the end, it drifts a little bit, but that's a quick fix. Okay, so now I have proper values. Max horizontal speed, 200. Max thrust, 700. So you can run any code in the viewport, and also you can change the textures of your nodes and all that stuff. And the thing is, if you're not careful, because you change the position of the nodes and all, it will actually get saved in the scene when you press F5 and run it. And some values can be hard-coded into this, but also this can create big bugs. So when you are using the tool mode, you can use this check. So if engine.editor hint, it's a value that is set to true if you are running code from the editor. And in that case, you can just say this here. Like, for example, if I'm in tool mode, I only want to, actually it's for this set amount function that I'm going to use to change the texture of the coins based on the value that you assign to them, so that it's automated. And you can say if it's not running from, if it's running from the editor, sorry, you could go to ready only. And if we are running from the editor, we return, we don't call the throw here. Note that I'm calling throw in ready just for testing purposes, but then it's going to be controlled by another node later. But normally if I just do that and I add tool back, actually I shouldn't have any trouble. So I have to restart the test level, and the coins shouldn't move in the editor. They are drifting because process is not being set to off. Okay, let's go back to the coin. Okay, so we want to set process to false, and if we're in the editor, that's all we do. So we save that. We're going to open test level again, and now the coins are not moving anymore. All right. Anyway, time to close the stream. I'm too tired right now to do it right. Don't know if I'll be. I think I'll be working on videos this afternoon. 1 or 2 more issues to keep the momentum on this project, and work on videos for the course right now. And there are more videos already scheduled on the channel until next month. So there's quite a bit coming. Any questions before I close? Anything. You can just ask anything. I'm yours. Well, kind of. Yeah, so this is open source. Again, please, you can go get the full project. There are some bugs and all that stuff. I'm going to close these issues and probably add a few more improvements for the final version of the course. But after that, this is just going to be how can I say? It's just going to be an open source project that can then open issues on and improve gradually. Okay. What's your favorite dessert? Probably cheesecake, but I eat vegan now. Mostly vegan. So I have to, I can't find it outside. Like in Japan, it's pretty rare, so gotta make your own. And it's not like the real cheesecake with cream cheese. It's always going to be a bit different. Anyway, that closes the stream. Thank you all for joining. So as usual, be creative, have fun, and see you in the next video on the channel. You have a new tutorial that came out today about input. Let me see. Oh, come on. let's go show you that you can go check out on the channel. This one, gonna leave you a link. It's not that popular. Well, parts of the game, but go check it out. It's one by Guilherme. It's a solid one, and yeah, see you in the next one. Bye bye.